we all weren't quite sure what a catch was. I think now we're pretty certain what that is. It's 2 feet down and football, movement, and we're all clear on what that is. Years ago, we said, okay, Des Bryant, that should have been a catch, in some way, in some fashion. So as long as everybody's clear with what the standard is, it's pretty clear if it's inbounds or out of bounds, that's a standard, and on the judgment calls and PI and OPI, let's make sure that the standard for what, if we go down that road of challenging, taking off a challenge or putting one on, of what OPI or DPI or roughing or all those, as long as the standard's really consistent with everybody, to me, that's the important piece of a judgment. So if all of us were watching, we'd be able to say, that's a foul, or that's not a foul. Much like right now, I think for the most part, the league did a really good job in unnecessary roughness or the lowering of the helmet foul, where if any of us were at the stadium watching or a fan was watching from home, they'd say, that looked like a foul, and if it is, it should be thrown. And so I'm hopeful that if we do go down the road of judgment calls, there's a way that we're all really consistent on what that standard would be.
Hey, Coach Gruden was actually saying...
One sec, she'd been waiting.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Kelsey with the offensive line, and Jamon being the addition of him, does that can maybe help bring a little bit more consistency to the line?
I hope so. Yeah, we ended up starting 6 guards this year, if you can do that. So that's not a good recipe for any team, I would say.
Yeah.
6 different guys, obviously. So Jamon and James both have really good experience in a similar system. At the Jets with James, at Seattle with James, and at the Rams, with Jamon. So seeing those guys doing some of the same jobs they'll do for us, that's kind of the fun part of the pro free agency side, because you get to see them do, like we actually got to go back and watch our game from 2017 with Jamon against Atlanta. Like, okay, that's a good game to watch, and I always like doing that in free agency because I know what our calls are against that player. So I'm like, okay, let's see him against us. So I like doing that. So in both instances, I did it with James from a year prior as well. But seeing those guys have, although they've got more size than we had at guard before, both of them have the quickness that we like in the run game and have shown, good pass protection ability.
I know you already talked about it.
I have. Who? Oh, Julio.
But you guys already talked about that. Just how important is it?
Yeah.
I know it goes without saying.
It does. He's such a cool guy and brings so much to our team, on and off the field. What I know is we got, good football guys on both sides, with who's representation with, Jimmy and their group and Thomas and the guys that he has here. Usually when, good football guys get together, there's some common ground. We find ways to get the job done, and I think that's been, through the years, Thomas's, track record of finding that common ground. So I'm hopeful that'll be the case again. And we certainly, he's a really important factor.
Hey, Coach, great to see you. First,
likewise.
Coach Gruden was saying that it's impossible to take human error out of the matter of the pass interference calls. And So I want to know what your thoughts are about that. He says you're not going to get rid of human error, so he didn't know what all the fuss was about.
Yeah, I think obviously there's lots of discussion. Like when you're talking about a new concept, you put everything on the table. What could be challenged? You want to go frame by frame and look at it. What's allowed from your crew versus this crew, and so we're always looking for that standard of what it could be. But as fast as some of the ones happen, when it could go either way, you're not really sure, and those are the ones that can be frustrating for some coaches and players, where 1 week the same play happened and then 2 weeks later it was officiated differently. That inconsistency can frustrate guys. So we're always looking for a good standard of a what is it? What does it look like? But much like an umpire in baseball or a referee in basketball, when the things are happening really fast, you've got to make quick judgment calls. And at the end, we know these guys are really busting it to get it right. And so they always don't go our way. And I think that's kind of part of the game.
You have to accept that as
you do, because
right.
it's not so exact where every single thing is called. But when there are ways to fix a problem, if there is one, or a way to do it better, I think it's always worth our consideration to look at that.
I got to ask you about Dirk Cutter, because I think he's one of the best pass pattern designers in the game today. What does he bring to the Falcons from your perspective?
Well, I think number one is the amount of explosive plays, and so going against and competing against their team through the years has been really challenging, both at Tampa, when he was at Atlanta, and even all the way back to Jacksonville. So I've coached against Dirk for a long time, so it's nice to join forces with him. But you know what I mean? That's okay.
I thought I saw that shut off, though.
It's okay.
That's my bad.
All good. That's the worst that happens to us today. We're okay. So his ability to have design and the explosive plays that take place, that's a real factor. We're gonna have balance in our offense, run game, pass game. That's when we're at our best, and he'll certainly work hard to ensure that.
And I don't want to get one more question before Big Vic Beasley. There's a lot of talk on local radio about, well, he's doing his own thing and he's freelancing thing. Well, that's an insult to the coaches.
Yeah, that's certainly not the case. Yeah.
Can you clear that up?
Yeah.
Where is Vic Beasley in your mind as a player?
I think
I'd like to put that to rest.
He's one of the guys this year who has a lot to prove, and we've had some production and 1 year of really good production. So we're going to work like crazy to get the things that he does best out in the forefront to help our team play like we're capable of.
Anybody else want to?
If I could issue, I'm Jeff McClain from the Philly Inquirer right now.
Joe, you said?
Jeff McClain from the Philly Inquirer. Yeah. This is a general topic, but about speed and how it's become increasingly more of an emphasis. It's weird to say, it's always an emphasis, right? Just with the way offenses can spread the field now, or the college element. But I'm looking specifically at certain positions.
Yeah.
Like we're seeing more safety become